Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the value of others, understanding the economic model of relationships to get and keep more of what you want in the sexual marketplace by Orion Taraban. This book takes a fascinating and sometimes blunt approach to relationships, breaking them down into an economic model. Yes, that's right, your love life can be analyzed with principles you'd normally use in business. Taraban's approach highlights how relationships are essentially exchanges of value, emotional, physical, or social, and how recognizing this framework can help you better understand your own needs and negotiate healthier, more balanced relationships. By the end of this video, you'll have a whole new perspective on love and relationships, and some practical tips to improve how you navigate them. Let's dive into the key insights from this thought-provoking book. The first big idea in the value of others is that relationships are value transactions. Essentially, relationships are about give and take. Each person brings something to the table, and in return, they receive something that fulfills their needs, whether that's companionship, emotional support, physical attraction, or something else. The economic model of relationships. Think of relationships like a marketplace. Just as goods and services are exchanged in an economy, emotional and physical value is exchanged in relationships. If one person feels they're giving more than they're getting, dissatisfaction sets in, and the relationship becomes unbalanced. Practical example. Consider a couple where one partner is always the one offering emotional support, planning dates, and putting in the effort, while the other partner seems to do little in return. This uneven exchange creates frustration and resentment because the value isn't being reciprocated. Implementation tip. Start assessing your relationships by asking yourself, are you contributing value, and are you getting value in return? If not, it's time to have an honest conversation with your partner about how to rebalance the relationship. One of the most important ideas Taraban presents is the concept of the sexual marketplace. In this metaphorical marketplace, everyone has a certain value based on what they can offer, whether it's emotional stability, physical attractiveness, social status, or financial security. Your value in this marketplace determines your options, who you attract, and what kinds of relationships you can maintain. What is value in the sexual marketplace? Taraban argues that your value isn't just about how you look, but also how you meet other people's needs. Factors like emotional intelligence, kindness, financial stability, and ambition all play a role in determining your overall value. Practical example. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract a lot of attention for potential partners? It's often because they have high value in the sexual marketplace. They might be attractive, confident, socially adept, or offer emotional support that others find valuable. Implementation tip. If you feel like you're not getting the results you want in your relationships or dating life, take a step back and assess your value. What are you bringing to the table? Are there areas where you can improve? Whether it's your physical health, emotional stability, or confidence. Another big theme in the book is that relationships are built on constant negotiation. Much like in business, you and your partner are constantly negotiating for what you want, whether it's more attention, more affection, or more independence. Successful relationships, Taraban argues, are those where both partners are good negotiators, finding a balance between their needs. Power dynamics in negotiation. The partner who brings more value to the table often holds more power in the negotiation. For instance, if one partner is considered more attractive or financially secure, they may have more leverage in deciding how the relationship plays out. However, this power dynamic can shift over time. Practical example. Imagine you're in a relationship where your partner earns more than you, and they tend to have more influence over decisions about vacations, dining, and social events. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it highlights how different factors can influence who holds power in certain areas of the relationship. Implementation tip. If you feel there's a power imbalance in your relationship, start by improving the value you bring to the table. Whether that means working on your confidence, building new skills, or improving your emotional intelligence, increasing your value can give you more negotiating power. According to Taraban, attractiveness, whether it's physical, emotional, or social, directly correlates with power in relationships. The more attractive you are to a partner, the more power you hold, because you are providing a higher level of value. But it's important to note that attractiveness isn't just about physical beauty. It's about how well you meet the needs of your partner and how valuable they find your traits. Attractiveness beyond looks. While physical attraction plays a role, emotional availability, ambition, kindness, and intelligence are also key aspects of overall attractiveness. Practical example: you might find that as your relationship deepens, emotional support becomes more attractive than physical appearance. A partner who listens, cares, and shows empathy may become more valuable over time, increasing their power in the relationship. Implementation tip: reflect on how you can improve your attractiveness beyond physical appearance. This could involve developing your emotional intelligence, working on being a better listener, or cultivating new skills that add value to your relationship. One of the more controversial points Taraban makes is that there is no happily ever after in relationships. Relationships are constantly evolving, and the value each partner brings to the table can shift over time. This means that the dynamics of the relationship will also change. The illusion of permanence. Taraban argues that many people mistakenly believe that once they've found love, the hard part is over. But in reality, relationships require continuous effort to maintain value. If one partner stops contributing to the value exchange, the relationship starts to deteriorate. Practical example: think of a couple that starts out strong, but as time goes on, one partner becomes complacent, stopping the efforts that once attracted the other. Over time, this imbalance causes the relationship to fall apart because the value exchange has shifted. Implementation tip: to keep your relationship strong, recognize that it's a continuous process of exchange. Regularly check in with your partner to make sure you're both still contributing value and meeting each other's needs. One of the most eye-opening insights in the book is that love alone is not enough to sustain a relationship. While love is an important emotional foundation, it doesn't automatically result in a balanced and fulfilling relationship. What matters is whether or not each partner's needs are being met. Love versus value exchange. People often assume that love will fix everything, but relationships thrive when both partners continue to give and receive value. This means that even in deeply loving relationships, practical contributions, like emotional support, helping with daily tasks, or providing financial stability, are just as important as the emotional connection. Practical example: have you ever been in a relationship where you loved someone deeply, but you weren't happy because your emotional or practical needs weren't being met? This is a prime example of how love alone doesn't guarantee a successful relationship. Implementation tip: ensure that your relationship isn't just built on love, but also on mutual respect and value exchange. Ask your partner what they need from you, both emotionally and practically, and be clear about what you need in return. Taraban emphasizes that every relationship involves trade-offs. No partner will be perfect in every way, so you need to figure out what you value most and where you're willing to compromise. Successful relationships are those where both partners accept that trade-offs are inevitable and make peace with them. Making peace with imperfection. It's unrealistic to expect one person to meet all your needs perfectly. The key is to figure out which qualities are non-negotiable for you and where you're willing to compromise. Practical example: maybe you value emotional intelligence and find that your partner is emotionally supportive, but they're not great at managing finances. You'll need to decide whether their emotional support outweighs the financial instability, and if you're willing to step up in areas where they fall short. Implementation tip: take time to reflect on the trade-offs in your current or potential relationship. What are your non-negotiables? What are you willing to compromise on? Having clarity about this will help you make better decisions about long-term compatibility. At the heart of a successful relationship is the ability to negotiate your needs effectively. This means communicating openly about what you want and being willing to listen to your partner's needs. The strongest relationships are those where both partners feel like their needs are being met and that they're valued for what they contribute. Effective communication. Negotiating your needs doesn't mean demanding or giving ultimatums. It means having regular, honest conversations where both partners can express what they need without fear of judgment or rejection. Practical example: if you feel like your partner isn't meeting your emotional needs, don't bottle it up. Instead, Approach the conversation with openness and empathy. For example, you could say, I really value the time we spend together, and lately I've been feeling disconnected. Can we work on spending more quality time together? Implementation tip. Set aside time every month to check in with your partner about how the relationship is going. This helps ensure that both of you are still meeting each other's needs and that the value exchange remains balanced. At the end of the day, the value of others teaches us that relationships aren't just about love. They're about value, negotiation, and compromise. By understanding the economic model of relationships, you can make smarter decisions about who you choose to be with, how you contribute to the relationship, and how to keep it balanced and healthy. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments how you plan to apply these insights to your own relationships. Remember, relationships are about constant value exchange, and mastering that dynamic is the key to lasting success.